We are amazing because our passion is limitless and our drive is intense. Therefore, you will not deny our grind. You are now listening to the Faith, Grind, and Inspire podcast.
Welcome back to another great episode of Faith, Grind, Inspire podcast. I'm your host, Gene Alert.
And I am Colbert St. Laurent.
And listen, today we have a very special treat. Not only because it's my birthday week, people, but it's something that I feel like our listeners deserve, okay? And this is my gift to you. I want to introduce the man himself, right? The man himself. Like, listen, I'm on social media and I get inspired by a few people, right? And it's very cool that in your own backyard where you grew up, like, you got such an inspiration that the people who were trying to inspire are calling this guy, looking to this guy for inspiration, right? When we talk about real estate, we talk about really flipping properties, we talk about really making moves, real moves, not internet moves. Really. There's only one guy, right? And I'm happy to say he's Haitian. Right?
Y'all on the roll with these zones.
Yeah. We on the roll, right? Like it's not a Haitian bias. It's just that it's what it is. So
they
I'm sorry.
And they hustle.
Yeah, man. Like we grew up, Faith, Grind, Inspire, and this man right here has that. Is at my best. 197. And my man, Welby.
Yeah, damn.
So listen, Welby. Appreciate you for coming on the show, man.
I'm humbled, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
We like, it's interesting. I reached out to him back in March, or he reached. No. We were on a live.
Yeah.
Mutual friend.
Yeah.
MG the mortgage guy. Shout out to Matt.
Yeah.
And then we're on, and he's like, "Yo, I would love to be on the show." I said, "Yo, what? You got asked twice, bro? Like, are you kidding me? You're legit. I follow you, right?" So then I got to follow back that day, and then all of a sudden, he's like, "Yo, I want to come on the show. Let's set it up." I'm like, "All right." I hit up Bree, and Bree's like, "Yo, let's do it." And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So then, but we kept releasing episodes. So he's like, "Yo, what's up?" Like,
I'm thinking like, yo, damn, I'm chopped liver or something. I'm like,
I was
what's
like,
going
"Nah,
on?
bro."
Like,
And I was like, so I had to make a video. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't send you text messages. I
send me video. Yeah.
So I sent the video like, "Look, trust me, you will be on the show." But it's just that we record these episodes in blocks, and so we just gotta make sure that, you know what I'm saying. Like once this thing opens back up, once we have it,
then you call me up and say, "Yo, Welby, you on?" I said, "Oh man, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man." And then what happens. So I'm humbled, man. I like what you guys doing.
No,
so
man. Well, you like it. I love it, bro. I love what you do.
I appreciate that.
I'm a family man, entrepreneur, investment property specialist. I am your Brooklyn, Long Island agent who understands the importance of building a strong future for your legacy. Allow me to guide you through your next real estate experience. It's finally time to buy a house and make it your home. First, you'll need a trusted advisor to guide you through the process. In Gene Alert and the Sabre team, you'll find just that with confidence, focus, and tact.
When it's time to list your home, you want to ensure you choose the most resourceful, unwavering team to represent your interests.
Our mission is to help everyone find their place in the world.
Like, I remember seeing like one of the first videos. It was talking about hard money loans, and hard money lenders, and what to do. And then he was talking, and then there was another. Somebody must have pissed you off because you were like, "Yo, he showed his like bank statements and like receipts, and I was like, yo, this guy's off the chain. He was like, if they're not showing you receipts.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, when I had said that, when I was speaking on that, I always reminisce about the things that I've been through in my past that we've spoken about before.
Right.
And the thing is a lot of the reasons I promote my losses, I promote the mistakes that I made, I promote being taken advantage of, I promote being robbed, I promote all of that, because a lot of us have been caught in a situation like that, and many times if more of us would openly speak more, I think it would lessen the blows on other people.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the exact video you're talking about, but I know it had to be with something involving people just taking things at face value and not really doing their research and looking into it in more detail. So they're just taking it at face value because John Doe was claiming XYZ, and then I was that person that believed in John Doe, and then I ultimately got robbed. You know, so I just wanted to lessen the blows, like you said earlier, on other people, so that their learning curve would be a bit shortened than it took me to have to do.
So Welby, check this out. I'm going way past because I'm a fan of yours. So
now stop, man.
I am, bro. And I'm not a fan of many people. But there's a few, but there's not a lot, right? Because I feel like real recognize real, right? I said something to someone one day, and I was like, "Yo, how come?" I was like, "It would be cool if you had real millionaires on your show." And they were like, "No, we don't need that. We need perceptions." Right?
Oh, wow.
So I was like, "That's crazy to me." Right?
I've heard people say things like that. I just never realized that the social media world was really that.
Yeah.
No, it's about looking like a millionaire.
Yeah, I never.
They don't really care. You don't to make an impression. You don't really have to own anything. You just have to talk about owning stuff. Like you don't have to. I could show you anything and sell. If I could sell it right, that's how a lot of people get scammed.
Yeah,
and that's why I don't like.
I guess, like I said, I'm ignorant to a lot of it. You could call me wet behind the ears because before I even started touching social media, I just took it for what it was. You know, if someone is claiming whatever it is, who am I to say if it's truthful or not? You know, I'm happy for them. You know, but then when I started actually getting into the mix, and then I actually bumped into a lot of people that I had seen previously, and I just took it for what they represented.
Yeah.
But then getting to sit down and talk with them one-on-one and have a conversation with them, I walked away shocked. It's not what I thought, but you know, I mean, I'm not here to knock nobody else.
It's all good,
if
bro.
It works for you,
but,
you know.
So that's why this show's here, because entrepreneurship, ultimately, people make it look easy.
Yeah.
So we started this podcast 2 years ago to show the mindset of real entrepreneurs, real people who are doing it every single day. And this is why we make it on location. We make it where we're at your house.
You're at my house,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're not fluffing.
Absolutely.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff you show on Instagram, I saw it.
I mean,
You know? Like and we'll talk about that. Like, we'll talk about it now. Like he made a video and he was in his car and he just got his car serviced and then wrapped. And he showed his service bill, right? It's a Ferrari? Yeah, for a Ferrari. So he showed the service bill. He's like, it's $7,000 to maintain the car.
Yeah.
Right? So when people talking about flexing or whatever, I was like, yo, I appreciate the car, but I appreciate the fact that he's showing how much it costs to service the car.
Well, like anybody can acquire anything if you really want to. It's a big difference acquiring something and maintaining it. You know, because anybody could buy a big house if you really wanted to, but the maintenance of it is a whole different conversation. And then it could be anything. It could be a high-end vehicle. Everybody talks the talk about it, but then there's a difference between acquiring it and then just a brake job on a car like that. The pads was like $2,000 alone.
Pads
on the pad. But I'm just saying it's a big difference with that, you know. So, but yeah, I'm humbled by it because I don't, you know, I never got into into what I'm doing for notoriety or anything like that. You know, that was never even my intentions with it. We have to be honest about it. The sign of the times, if you're not part of a movement, then you're left behind.
Yep.
So obviously, social media does play an intricate part promoting businesses, putting yourself out there, because now you can't even speak to somebody and represent yourself as whatever without them saying what's your website or what's your LinkedIn or what's your
What's your IG?
What's your IG? And it took myself, and I have a twin brother, and it took me a while to actually accept saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna put a part of my life out there to the world. But if anyone goes on my IG, you rarely see anything much personal. I show little things here and there, but the predominant things that I talk about is the business of real estate, the business of what I do every day, what I go through every day, and I always promote the good, the bad, the ugly of real estate.
Yes, the good,
and
the bad,
the one thing that I guess maybe irritated me a lot was when you would watch people like, for example, on HGTV. They always would promote this glamorous thing of real estate, and every property would have a theme name to the property, and then the property is gonna be the Cinderella house, so it was gonna be the Batman house, whatever it was. Yeah. So then it would inspire people to want to do that because of the glamorous. But why they never showed you the tree that fell on the guy's head? That happened to guys that work for me, you know? Why they never show you that when you're opening up a wall, then you see a roach-infested wall where you got to get it exterminated? Why they never show anything like that? Why they never show the real grit from the beginning and then show the end result so that the people can appreciate the struggle that it takes to do that, you know? So that was my main goal, is that if I'm gonna put this out to the world, I'm gonna promote this so that people can actually see the depths of what it takes to do what myself, a bunch of other people I respect are doing. So,
and I appreciate that.
I promote that all the time, and listen, even when I've lost, like my last 2 properties that have recently sold, I lost on the deal. COVID impacted it because of the demographics of the people that were my customer base for these properties. So between those 2 properties, I lost tens of thousands of dollars, and I put it out there and I showed, you know. So you can't, as long as the wins are a lot more and are a lot more heavier, you can absorb that. But it's not just me that loses. Anybody you want to talk to that's in the same field that I'm in, we lose. Yeah. Every year we lose, but the goal is to win way more.
Way more.
And I win way more. But people are more afraid to promote that loss because maybe they're concerned that it's going to affect their sales of whatever maybe is being upsold to the public. Maybe that's what they're concerned about doing or not. I don't know. I don't have anything to sell anybody. I don't have an upsell to anybody. The only thing that is that people, if it's anything they compensate me for, is the time of me investing with them or in them, of the educating. But as far as me upselling them something after the fact, I don't have that.
You're not
so
managing funds. You're not managing.
I'm not. No. I have my own money. I don't need your money. You know, and I mean that with the utmost respect. I don't need your money. If it's something that if it did make sense and it would be a conglomerate group investment, then yeah, we'll do that and then we'll equally eat together. But as far as me, I don't have a product that I'm trying to sell somebody, and I don't have that. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that I won't have anything in the future, maybe a course that I'll put together. I don't know, but for the moment, that's not in my future.
So where'd you start? So you're, obviously you're Haitian, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just, but
listen, man, Haitians, we no joke, you know. No, for all the people that sleep on us Haitians, man, we out here. We've been out here a long time. We've been kicking ass a long time, you know, a long time, long before anything about that I'm speaking about. We've been out here really doing it, you know. But
when Haitians weren't cool,
when Haitians weren't cool, you know, and I've been a proud Haitian man my whole entire life, and I've never hidden that fact, and I just love watching like my.
Wait, you weren't one of the Jamaicans? It was the Haitians that were like, y'all Jamaican?
Nah, I never was, bro. I really never was, man. I never was.
Some of those guys.
No, I seen that, and the things that Haitians went through in my time. I grew up in the 80s, so the things that the Haitians went through in that time, it was, it was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that yo, we don't play. You know, us Haitians don't play, and then we just have a strong sense of pride and value in ourselves. And you know, I'm proud to be what I am. You know, and even when I'm driving my cars, I have the flag up in my cars, it's proud to see when another Haitian person will roll up next to me and just honk the horn and be proud because they like, man, Haitian, yo, brother, keep going. Like it feel good.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
you win, we win.
yeah. So it feel good. You know,
Yeah.
I'm proud to be what I am. You know, and I promote it every chance I get.
How did you start in real estate?
Here's the crazy thing, right? I tell my backstory, right? I grew up in I'm first generation Haitian American, right? So my parents were born in Haiti, and you know, America is the land of opportunity, right? So my parents gave birth to my two older brothers, my twin brother and myself, and then my little brother came 10 years later. But what we were sent back to Haiti when we were born. We were still infants in diapers, and we were sent back to Haiti, and we stayed there till I was 4, my older brother was 5, and so on, right? And we lived with my grandmother. So Creole was the first language I learned to speak. We came back to America at 4 years old. And then at 4 years old, you know, we're still young too, so we was able to pick up the language of speaking English and whatever, right? Fast forwarding, I have a godfather, first Haitian and family member that I knew personally that owned a home. Not only owned his own home, he was in real estate where he had his own real estate brokerage and had people working for him, and that he owned maybe 1 or 2 rental properties. So what he used to do, he would come to Canarsie, Brooklyn. I grew up on Flatlands and 105th Street. What is that? Canarsie? Well, we call it Canarsie Projects, but that's Brooklyn houses, I think it is, if I remember correctly. 105 in Flatlands Avenue, right? So when he would come, he would always come with his nice fancy car, but he wasn't a drug dealer. He wasn't robbing anybody. The man worked. He would pick me up from Canarsie Project. Me and my brothers would go with him to Long Island. And sometimes my family would also go to Long Island. We would go visit him. So imagine coming from the projects and then going to the suburbs. It's like driving from the projects. Even though it was a 45-minute drive, you might as well have taken me down south.
It felt like forever.
Yeah, so we would go to Brooklyn, and he lived in Freeport, Long Island, by the nautical mile. And I never forget that what intrigued me was that he would allow me and my god brother, my cousin, to ride our bikes. But coming from the projects, we would ride our bikes on the sidewalk or in the park in the middle of the projects. That's what we only knew. But when we would ride our bikes in Freeport, Long Island, we was riding our bikes in the middle of the street and on the sidewalk and in the street. And all these years later, I never realized how much that little thing of being able to ride my bike in the middle of the street impacted my life. And that little thing, I said, from that day at 8 years old, I'm going to move to Long Island. So I knew from 8 years old, I don't know where I was going to move on Long Island. I didn't know how I was going to move to Long Island, but I knew I was going to move to Long Island with being able to ride my bike in the middle of the street. So that was always the seed that was planted in my mind, and the inspiration it was. Even though that's what happened, I never thought about it as in depth as I do these later years. So from there, you know, we was in the project till I was about 11, I believe, and my parents surprised us that we were going to be moving to Queens. So when we moved to Queens, my parents now, they're Haitian, born and raised, and the goal is to come to America, make something of yourself, get an education, then hopefully buy yourself a home for you and your family. So my parents are living the American dream. It's a struggle. It's a fight. My parents, we moved with what we had, and we moved into our house. And the quick story about that is when we moved to the house in Queens, my parents, before we got to the house, my parents is telling us, hey, the people that we buying the house from, their son is famous. And yeah, he's in the music, he sings. So us kids thinking our parents are corny. What the hell you know about your famous, they sing? Yeah. The mother of the son wants to meet you guys first before they move out. Okay, so we all, Haitians, parents, you have to put a suit on.
Yeah.
Remember, right? So we all put our suit on, hard bottom shoes, and we traveled to go to Queens, pull up to the house, walk inside the house, meet the lady, and then the woman says, hey, I want you to meet my son. And we're like, okay, cool. And we still saying, what do my parents know this singer, who this singer is? We see this tall guy coming down the stairs. And who's coming down the stairs? DMC from Run DMC.
Really?
So we bought the house of the famous DMC of Run DMC.
Yeah,
That's the house that we bought. And we still got the house till this day. And then so from living there, we was there for a couple of years. And then once again, the typical thing with Haitians growing up, you're not a success unless you're a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a nurse. If you're not in one of those, if you're not an architect, if you're not in that field of business, then you're not a success. So what I decided to do, so what I decided to do, I thought that I wanted to be an attorney. So I ultimately went through high school, and then I went to John Jay College, and I was studying law for about 2 years.
Okay.
And I just realized it wasn't for me. I just was like, this isn't for me. And fast forwarding, because the story is pretty long, but by the time by that time I stopped going to college, and then I went to get a job. My parents was like, look, you're not going to school, you got to get a job. I didn't have an education. So my parents said, you got to get a job. I went and I became a security guard. So I was doing security for a number of years, and I was doing security for about 4 years. And then I knew I could do more, but I was always a hustler. I always hustled. I was buying cars that needed work, fix them up a little bit, put them back on to sell. I was buying counterfeit jeans if I had to, and I would sell. Me and my brothers, we was always on some hustling. Then one day a lady approached me, and she says to me, hey, do you have a resume? I said to her, no. And she says, oh, you don't have a resume? You're such a nice young man. I'm going to write up a resume for you. I said, okay, thank you. I didn't understand the importance of these things that happened in my life. Okay. 2 days later, she presents me the resume. I never had one before. Wow. I put it where I'm working as a security guard. I put it in the desk, and I said, thank you. The very next day, an older Grenadian woman approached me, and she says to me, hey, listen, all of her kids worked at this location that I ultimately started working at. And it was a good paying job. She said, have you ever thought about working at this such and such place? I don't want to mention it, but such and such place. I said, yeah. She said, listen, you have a resume? I need it today by 3 o'clock. If you get it to me by 3 o'clock, I guarantee you a test. The test, you will be able to get the test to pass to get into that place. I said to you, matter of fact, I do. And I gave her the resume. What? So could you imagine that, right? Seriously? Just like that, I swear to God. The very next day from this first woman writing me up a resume,
incredible,
giving me the resume, putting it in my drawer, the very next day this woman says to me, if you have a resume, I need it now, today.
So how did this lady even come to you and ask you about?
Because here's the thing, right? I'm big on respect for people. Yeah. I'm big on treating people the way I want to be treated. And you just never know how you treat somebody, how it comes back to you. Yep. And this woman, she could be my grandmother, but I always treated her as mom. And that's how it was at the job. She was a nurse, and at the job, it was always mine. Yeah. That's how it always was. And then her sons and her daughters that worked at the same location, we would treat each other like, they were older than me, but like brother and sister. Right. So because of that, and she sees I was always an ambitious person, I wasn't doing any dirt, I wasn't getting any trouble, is when she approached me. And not only she approached me, she approached multiple people in the same location, and every one of them brushed her off. And when she approached me, I was immediately ready for it. Thankfully, with the lady with the resume, I was ready for it. And these are some of the things that happened in my life where you start realizing that when you're working towards something, you can't imagine that you're preparing yourself, because these opportunities will come for you. You don't know when, but you got to be prepared for it, because you don't know when these opportunities are going to come. So if I didn't treat the first woman respectfully, if I didn't show her that I was somebody that was a good person, ambitious, she would have never felt compelled enough. She would have never asked me that. For her to then decide to write up the resume for me, to then have the woman I call grandma at the job say to me, do you have a resume? And I need it today.
I need it today by 3.
By 3.
Wow.
I was able to get the job. And from the day I walked in on the job, I knew it was going to change my life when I got in that job. By me getting in that job, I was able to change myself and 10 other people's lives because I was able to get my brother in there, my twin brother in there, my younger brother in there, my older brother in there, 2-3 people on my block in there. Until this day, they all doing great.
Wow.
But I was the first person that walked in the door. Wow. While I was there, yeah, I'm working, I'm making decent money, but real estate was always in my heart. Real estate was always something that I wanted to do.
Because the seed, what you saw as a kid from your uncle.
One thing that I learned about working, we all can work, we all can make money. But you're only going to go as far as what the job is going to, the hours that you can invest in on the job. I always knew that. Right. So if I don't care if you're making $100,000 a year, you can apply time and a half if you want, but there's only but so many hours that your body can physically do, so there's a cap. So I knew that. I don't know, I just wanted real estate. I just know I wanted to do real estate. And I had a couple of older people that I worked with that attempted to do real estate. And I was one of those guys, and I'm sure you meet them before, that talked a whole lot. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And speaking eloquently, and it sounded wonderful. Right. Then one day, one of the old-timer guys at the job said to me, when I'm talking my talk again, my rhetoric again, and I'm not doing anything, he said, man, shut the fuck up. It's exactly what he said to me. When he said it to me, I respect him. But when he said it to me, it shocked me. Yeah. And he embarrassed me when he said that to me. And he said, yo, man, in his Grenadian accent, he happened to be Grenadian too. And he said to me, you talk so much shit. I've been listening to you talk about real estate for so long. You talk so much shit. And he says, listen, man, all these other guys that's over here right now can hear you and stuff like that. You full of shit. He says, yo, why don't you shut the F up and do it? That was some of the best things. To this day, me and him is tight. That was 20 years ago. Yeah. Until this day, I kiss this man's feet because I tell him that he checked me because I was talking it. Yeah. I was talking too much. Right. And he's like, yo, go, if that's what you want, go ahead and do it. That happened to me sometime in October of 2004. 2004. And that day, I went home. I was still living at home at the time. I talked to my twin brother, and I said, yo, I'm going to Atlanta. I don't know about you, but I'm going to Atlanta because we had a couple of friends that moved out there, and I'm going to go buy me a piece of property out there. When I decided I'm going to go to Atlanta, my twin brother said, I'm going too. When my twin brother said he's going too, 3 or 4 of our friends, and we all simultaneously went out to Atlanta. We still working, flew out there, and we went out there Thanksgiving week, and I said, I'm not coming back home unless I come back home under contract with a property. So not only I did that, my brother did that, and 3 or 4 of my friends all did that, not realizing that we all got robbed. So at the time when I bought my first property, this is when the subprime mortgage thing was going on. So I bought the property with just, my credit was on point, and I bought the property with strong credit without having to put a penny out of pocket. So it was 106% financing. The 6% was for the closing costs and everything. So I bought me a 4-unit building, rental property. And when I bought the property like what we were talking about earlier before. Being from a big city, New York exactly, you subconsciously are arrogant when you compare yourself to a smaller market, excuse me. So when I saw that 4-unit building, I compared that 4-unit building to what that 4-unit building would sell in New York. And it would have sold in New York 3-4 times the price. So I bought it based off of that, saying it was cheap. And when I bought it, I made all these dreams of what I'm going to do to that property, how much money I can rent that property for, all these great things. And then by the time I bought it, closed on it, everything that I expected I was going to be able to do to that property, I was not able to do. I didn't have a contractor that I can work with. They only saw me as a New Yorker with money in the bank, and they gassed me up, lied to me, told me all these different stories about what they were going to do or not. The realtor told me, hey, Welby, you could make these condos. I'm 23 years old, 24 years old. How do I know this woman is telling me the truth or not? She gassed me up. So I just bought it based off of that, plus because I'm from New York, I'm the man. Listen, that's a whole long story with that. That was a catastrophe. By the time 2 years, 3 years later, myself and everybody that went down there ended up losing all of our homes to foreclosures, bank taking back the properties, all that. We ended up losing everything. So I got wiped out, lost everything, lost all the money I put in that property. That property sold to the next investor at the auction for 30% of what I originally bought it for.
Wow.
They got it for.
Everybody,
Everyone. My twin brother lost his house, and my cousin lost his house. I lost my property, and every one of us lost.
Y'all just went and bought your own properties. Y'all ain't say let's go in together.
Well, listen, it would have been if we all went in together, it would have been a collective loss collectively together. We would have all lost.
I want to educate people on why. Why did you lose the property?
My number one thing is this, right? It's easy to spend money. It's easy to spend money. It's harder to keep it, right? The reason why I lost it is because I put the cart before the horse. I didn't do my homework. I thought because I read out of a book real quick and I learned a few acronyms. We all did it, right?
Yeah.
And you think, let me tell you something. Anybody with experience, forget about the way the person is dressed. Forget about the shoes he's wearing. Forget about the car he's driving. If the person has experience, right? If you came to me or you came to me with minimal experience to talk to me about real estate, within 20 seconds, I know you don't know shit. Right. If I wanted to get you, I'm going to get you. Right. It takes, and that's what happened to me. So I figured because I read a handful of books that had the beautiful acronyms of the ARV and the DTI and the PMI and all this other stuff. So when I'm speaking, you know somebody that's wearing a suit that's too big but is acting like he's looking good and he's talking it, that was me. So I'm talking, speaking to the people, but when they respond back to me with a few responses that I had no rebuttal to, they knew I was full of it. But I had good credit and I had a good job, so they could convince me enough to just sign my name or sign my life away. The realtor's gonna get her commission. The loan officer is gonna make his commissions. They could put all the extra origination fees on it. I wouldn't know. So my biggest mistake that I made is I didn't educate myself properly on what I was doing, but I was quick to spend the money. And a lot of people I speak with today, that's their issue, is that they can get qualified, they can get the money, and they're quick to spend the money, but they're not willing to invest the time to educate themselves or properly spend the money to educate themselves. So that's, like I said, that's what happened to me. So I lost it all. I didn't understand the numbers. I didn't understand why I bought it. I didn't understand if it was a good buy or not versus what I was expecting to make. I didn't even have a plan. Was I supposed to, if I'm saying I'm going to keep it as a rental, which was the plan, why was it a good rental? Why am I cash flowing? Am I cash flowing on this property? What is the numbers to the operating expenses for it to make sense that this is going to be a good deal for me? I didn't understand that. So by the time I bought the property, by the time I paid, put it this way, the property manager was making more money than me a month than I was making owning the property because I wasn't making anything. Put it that way. How would I protect myself if little games like I had another property manager until I had my boy's wife manage it for me, but prior to her, the property manager contacts me one day and tells me, hey, the hot water tank is broken. So you telling me the hot water tank is broken, I got to replace it, right? So they told me $2,000, I replaced it. I was going to Atlanta the following week just to go check up on my property and see my friends. When I go there and I go to the property, I knock on the door and I knocked on the apartment door to ask the tenant, how's everything and how's the hot water heater? The tenant's saying to me, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, we put a new hot water in here and there in the apartment. He says, no, there was no hot water heater installed.
Wow.
For me to find out later on that the property manager lied about what was wrong so that they could send them the money. They send me a bogus receipt of work that was done so they could pocket my money. So these little things that people don't understand about this business, I went through it. Right. Not little things, a lot of little things. I went through it. You know what I'm saying? So part of that, by the time it snowballed, I ended up losing it. So when I end up losing it, you understand that I'm a proud man. You have pride of your credit. Your credit is strong. Yeah. You bust your tail and you you saved up your money so you can acquire something and then you ultimately lose it. You feel like a failure. Right. Not only that, the banks destroy your name. They destroy your credit. So I go from a 700 credit score to a 500 credit score. And it happened and the hardest thing I had to accept is that no matter what I did to resuscitate this deal, I was not going to bring it back to life. Right. And I had to let it go. So you imagine how you feel deciding to just let this thing go and die. Yeah. So when it died, my life was over, right? I'm not gonna be able to do nothing again.
Yeah.
So I put my tail between my leg and I just go back to work and I started working. So now I start working. Sometime in between there, I got myself involved in a nursing agency. So then I became part owner of a nursing agency, staffing hospitals and nursing homes with nurses and stuff like that. That's a whole long story in itself.
Man.
I was grinding. I was pulling in with that nursing agency. I was pulling in at the peak of doing well. I was pulling in conservatively. I was pulling in about $6,000 a week, my cut, right? But it was good for a few months. Then finding out later on that the partner of mine was embezzling money, and the business just fell apart. So the money I'm making to what I invested in, the money I put, I borrowed money from Bank of America. I borrowed money from multiple other banks. So the money I was getting is what I was putting to pay back. But then I also wanted to floss too. You know, I wanted to look good too, right?
You got to do that.
I was already in the hole, right? The business fell. The woman changed her phone number, dipped on me. We had signed contracts, but she could care less. She told me, sue her.
Wow.
Everything falls apart again. So I get wiped out again. So I go back into real estate again. Every time I was getting messed up. I wanted to get back into real estate. I said, I'm going to try one more time. So I got back into real estate sometime around 2010 or 11, somewhere around there. So now I was walking down the street. Once again, not educating yourself. I started investing more of my belief in somebody else versus myself. So I always wanted to believe that I'm not smart enough to do this. That person has to be smarter than me because look, he has a storefront. Look, he's driving a Mercedes Benz. So he has to be smarter than me. And I walked into a place and I met this this Russian guy, right? And that's why I tell people today, be very careful what you share with people. So I laid out my heart to him. I damn near had tears in my eyes talking to him, and I'm telling him, listen, please, man. Yo, man, what's his name, man? Sal, one of those names.
Yeah.
Bro, I want to do this real estate thing so bad.
Yeah.
And listen, bro, when I dead ass mean it, I had damn near tears coming out of my eye with the passion. This is what I want to do. I just want somebody to teach me and show me, man. Please, somebody show me. Dead serious. You know what homeboy said to me? What's your credit score? I'm dead serious. That's what homeboy said to me. Yo, what's your credit score? Yo, by that point, my scores got up again, whatever.
Yeah, this is years later.
Years later, my scores got up again. I told him, yo, it's in the 700s. What do you do? I told him what I do. He said, yo, I got a house for you on Allerton Avenue in the Bronx, and that I'm going to hook you up with a deal. I bet, man. And I just take everything at face value with what he told me. I end up buying the property because he told me it's a good deal. At the table, I realized that the property that he's selling me is a property that they essentially stole from somebody else that was in the brother's name, his brother's name, that they were trying to get out of the brother's name because they couldn't find a buyer, and I was the sucker that was buying it. But I bought it. Me and him had an agreement of 50-50 labor, 50-50 material, and then when the property sells, we're going to split the proceeds 50-50. First time it's time to put up money. Yo, Welby, just put up the money, man. Just put up the money, bro. Don't worry, just put up the money and we'll get it at the table. So I did it. Second time, third time, fourth time, I'm realizing, yo, this guy is wanting me to put up all the bread, and I'm a man of my word. If we say that we're going to do this and we're going to split it, I'm going to split it with him down the middle. And he's supposed to be the one that's going to sell the house because he had his own brokerage office. What do you think happens? Dude dips on me. Wow. So now I got the property on by myself and I have to handle it. I own it. I have to handle it.
Yeah.
I got the property completed, finished. I don't know how I did it. I got guys to finish it.
God is good.
Put it on the market. I was into the house for $425. I sold the house for $545. No realtor. But all said and done, everything was all said and done. I was left with whatever, 90,000 or whatever it was, like that. That was my first taste of the possibilities. First taste. Leave it alone. Kept doing my thing.
Did you ever hear from him again?
Never. What's so crazy today? His name wasn't Sal. His name was Simone. Now I remember it. What's so funny? This guy today, he reaches out to me to do business with me to help him.
What?
You see how crazy life goes, right?
Yeah.
But people happen now. So now, because we're almost to the point of almost today. When that happened, I decided I'm going to go back to Atlanta and buy. So I go back to Atlanta to buy. When I went back to Atlanta to buy, I bought a property in Duluth County. Bought the property right. I bought it right. Bought it at the right price. My budgeted a right cost of rehab. I thought that I had a contractor that was going to be on point. We make an agreement on the pricing and everything like that. While I'm in New York, he goes down there, he brings his team, they start working. $30,000 later, full budget price, told me we good to go. They're sending me pictures of the house. Pictures you can't believe are pictures. But it looked incredible in pictures. Oh, wow. So I couldn't wait because my house is ready to go. Fly down there. Go down there. That house was no better than what I first gave to him. And I already spent $30,000. I ended up having to kick him out, get another contractor, and I ended up having to spend $30,000 again to redo what the guy did and then put the house on the market. Put the house on the market, end up selling the house, and I lost money on the house again. All right? So now I come back home, and then my father says to me in Creole, Welby, ou fini avec ça? Ou fini? So he's saying to Welby, he's saying to me, Welby, you're done with this, right? You done with this real estate.
Yeah.
And I said to my father, yo, Dad, I got it. He said, what do you mean you got it? I said, yo, I know what to do now. And the problem with what happened with me is that all those times I lost, I kept repeating the same shit over and over and over again. Knowing it's not supposed to be done, I kept repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting for something different to happen.
Yeah.
So this time I said, yo, I got it. Came back to New York, and I started buying in New York. Started buying in New York. I had everything in place. My mind was right. I made sure I had my team right. I had my contractor right. I had my attorney right. I knew if the price wasn't right on the purchase, I wasn't buying it. If it wasn't right on the rehabbing, I'm not buying it. And that's when I started making my wins. Started hitting my home runs. Then from there, I said, you know what, man, I'm going to start hitting up Connecticut. And I befriended a couple of people. I actually say I didn't know anybody. I only knew one person in Connecticut. So when I was going to Connecticut, everybody was telling me, well, you crazy. What you doing in Connecticut? What you doing? You don't know nobody in Connecticut. What you doing in Connecticut? And I would take that run out to Connecticut every day by myself, rubbing elbows with people, shaking hands with people, knocking on offices with people, letting them know what I'm looking to do. But when I'm speaking to them, I'm not speaking from a position of ignorance. They knew I was serious. The difference between them now and then when I was in Atlanta is that they could see I can tell this dude whatever he wants and he gonna take it.
You gotta take it.
They couldn't tell me what I wanted. And I laid it out. This is what I need you to do for me. Either you could do it or not. And that's how I did it. Until I got the right people around me. And then I started hitting the home runs I started hitting.
Testimony, man.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it, bro.
Believe me, I wish that I had a big homie, if you want to call him that, or mentor that really held my hand and said, Welby, I got you. Let's walk.
Yes.
I didn't have that.
Yes.
And I mean that with the utmost respect for everybody. I appreciate the seeds that were planted. I appreciate my godfather for the seed he put in my head. I appreciate the people that doubted me. No matter how many times I fell on my face and I got up, the people would just laugh at me. I always tell people that I'm known as, with no disrespect to Jehovah Witnesses, I'm known as a Jehovah Witness of real estate. Real talk. So everybody understands the stigma that comes with that. Where and like I said, I mean no disrespect.
Relentless.
Where people they are. Jehovah's Witnesses are relentless. And you'll have some people that will see them coming from a distance and will lock their door or hide. And that's how people would see me. So when they saw me walking towards them, they knew Welby's gonna talk about real estate. But guess what?
Turn on the blinds.
But guess what? The same people that didn't want to listen to me then, they want to listen to me now.
Of course, man.
Now they want to listen and talk to me now. They're like, yo, damn, Welby, yeah, you were right what you were saying. And I wasn't trying to be right or wrong.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be right or wrong. I understand the importance of it. For me, anyways, I understand the importance of it. And if I really believe if you care about somebody and you have something that can make life easier for us all, you should share it. That's how I feel. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to do, but no one wanted to believe that. Nobody wanted to believe in that. So then that's why I always promote my losses. That's why I always promote the hell that I've gone through. That I tell them about the mistakes that I made. I promote that because nobody wants that. Nobody want to put the hard work. The only thing that they see when they put on Instagram is, wow, look.
The highlight reel.
He's so
the highlight reel.
She's so pretty. Oh wow, look at that lifestyle. Oh my God, look, I want to be on the beach and kick my feet up too. Life is not like that. If anybody's not telling you that, they lying to you. Because I got
man, it is, bro. No, it is like that, man. It's on Instagram, bro.
Well, listen, bro.
and real life, right?
Maybe
362 days out of the year, I want to be in Tulum with my feet up and just texting and I make money.
When you tell somebody,
is that real?
When most people will speak with me and I tell them the grit that they have to go through, then they get turned. I won't say they get turned off, but they're like, you know what? Let me try it over there because he said you can live this same lifestyle if you do as I say.
Yeah.
But then they upsell you $30,000, $50,000 for the conversation that I'm having with you two. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yo, I haven't been on a vacation myself, and I have the money to do it. I haven't been on a vacation, like a real vacation in like 5 years. Right. And I got the money to do it.
Yeah.
So explain to me, I must be doing something wrong then if I got the money to do it and I haven't been on vacation in 5 years, but then somebody that I'm really good friends with or associated with is living in a room and is in Aruba every month. Then I must be the idiot then.
I got different goals. Different
goals,
man.
Bro.
Some people are just content.
Some people like looking.
Me and my twin brother talk about it all the time. We discuss this all the time, and I'm like, I'll be real. We have these real conversations. Like, yo, damn, maybe we're the ones that are dumb. No, seriously, maybe we're the ones that are dumb because we haven't gone on vacation in forever, and these people who the next month that they back is calling my phone asking to borrow some bread. It don't make no sense to me. So maybe it's me. Yes, I'm saying maybe it's me. But I mean, I don't know.
Bro,
I don't know.
You're speaking the truth right now, man. Like it's real. Yeah. Like I can't even. I think the last time I went on vacation was like 5 years ago too, man.
Yeah, someone asked me that the other day. I said,
"It's work."
Anytime I go somewhere, it's still work.
It's work.
Yeah. Work. It's
like
not real vacation.
No, it's not real vacation.
I'm at the beach. Let me enjoy the beach for half a day.
Absolutely,
yeah, but it's work.
Because I don't grasp that. Like I don't grasp it. Like I can't even fathom going away. Well, first off, where I live at, my home is a home I've always wanted. Yeah. I'm not trying it to be the biggest house than anybody else or the smallest house. So something I've ever wanted. The environment is where I've always wanted to be. So I don't need to get away to go away. Yes. When I come home, that's how I feel.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel the need to have to escape my environment to then put up that. And I mean no disrespect to nobody else. If that's what works for you, great. But I don't feel that way. So that's why if I go away and I'm like, yo, all I need is 3-4 days. Sometimes, my lady will be irritated with that. She's like, what do you mean 3-4 days? We just go. I said, because that's all I need. I don't need 2 weeks away. I don't need that. And then on top of that, I love what I'm doing. I really, yo, bro, I'm telling you, man, I love this real estate shit. I really, really love it. I love acquiring, and I was showing you guys earlier. Yeah. I'm showing you, I love acquiring the properties that no one said was possible to bring back, and I love buying them and putting my sauce to it. Yeah. I just love that. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, guys, what he's talking, it's so funny, man, because the passion, like, I thought I had passion, right? I really thought, Welby, that I had passion, bro. No, I swear to you. 2 seconds beating you, I'm like this. I have no passion. I was like, yo, why fraud? I was like, yo, because I thought I was passionate about real estate, bro. I swear to you, bro, I thought I was. But like your level of passion, bro, makes me feel like, let me just go in the corner right here and just like,
Just
for
think
real.
about this, right?
Like, he was like, yo. I was like, and I feel it, man.
I appreciate it.
No.
I appreciate. I mean,
For real. Like, I don't know if you hear it.
I'm like,
because bro, people who's listening and know me, know, like, there's no other conversation you can have in my house if it's not real estate.
You see, it's beautiful,
right? Yeah. But like, so I thought I was passionate.
Wow.
Jeff, Dane, you guys are my witnesses. You are another level. Yeah. Like, I feel like I can learn a lot from you, right? And I know I can learn a lot from you. Yeah. And the thing is, I feel like there's more, man. Like, it's not what these people are doing, filling up rooms. It's not for the photo ops with you, man. Like, I feel like I see you on, like, TV doing something. No. Listen.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's not like, it's not selling a course. It's not, because that's the model everybody else got. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's not it. Where I see you is something like you see my homegirl, Egypt, right? She's on HGTV, right? That type of thing, right? Like how they have the brothers, the two brothers, on that level, but not that. You see what I'm saying? But something to that caliber, you know. And I know that people are doing shows. I know it's a big illusion, bro. You know what I mean? And you're not the illusion. You're the real thing. Mm-hmm. And you could feel and you could sense, the passion. Like, if the passion was around you right now, I couldn't even be sitting on this couch. Well, because it would be knocking me off, like, and it's like, it's my birthday, man. Like, I saw it, you know? But it's just like, yo.
It's authenticity.
It's real, bro. Like,
the thing is, there's
nothing about it that's like, man, this guy's just talking. Yeah, it's not fabricated. That's Brianna. Thank you, Brianna. Yeah. Shout out to Brianna, the producer.
You know, the thing is, that makes it tough if you just really realize, like, listen, like I said again, I don't have war stories being like mine was more worse than anybody else's. But what it's done for me changed my life, and then I'm going through some things that eventually people are gonna know about. That if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have survived it. Yeah. That's serious. That the things that I've gone through. Not only that, too, I have people in my life that I really care about that have gone through certain things that thankfully I was able to help them or to bail them or to keep them afloat because of this. You know what I'm saying? And then also on top of that, to think about it, even though people in this country don't want to speak on it or people want to put blinders to it as if it's not that serious, they put things in place to make sure that we couldn't. People that look like us couldn't do certain things. And then other people will look and act like, no, it's just a figment of your imagination. No, it was like that. You know what I'm saying? So Facts. For the fact that you know that they were putting things to block you from being able to do it, why now when you should be, you're not? You know what I'm saying? Then on top of this, we all know that there's certain basic things of life that no matter what technology happens or doesn't happen, we're always going to need. You're always going to need food. Mm-hmm. You're always going to need shelter. So no matter how much technology that will come out in this world, you need some place. You need a shelter to be in. Shelter. Shelter means real estate. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter what you do, real estate is always going to be an intricate part of business. Somehow or another.
That's the truth.
At a minimum, at least where you're going to lay your head. Exactly. So I need my small cut out of that. So if other people want to sleep on that importance, go ahead and do it. Other people want to get convinced and say, oh, I don't want to own. I don't want to own. If you don't want to own, it's because you want someone to own you. It's as simple as that. You could twist it however way you want. You could twist it however way you want. When I was, and I mean no disrespect to anybody that's renting. When I was renting, I didn't like the fact that just because I wanted to paint an accent wall, I got to go downstairs to another grown man and ask him, hey, do you think that I could paint the accent wall in my bedroom? And for him to scratch his head and say, no,
you can't.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to do what the hell I want to do in my house. That's how I feel. Not only that, I have a bunch of tenants, right? I don't raise the rent in that way. But if a landlord wants to be that type of person, he can.
Yep.
I don't want nobody dictating to me, worrying to tell my lady or the kids, hey, listen, home is not home here no more. We got to move. I don't want that type of control over my life. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be the best landlord I can be possible. But then you have other people that don't care about that. It's a money grab for them. Right. So you have to do what you have to do to protect yourself and your family. You have to do what you got to do. So today, in 2020, if people ain't taking full advantage of the opportunities that are out here, and all they're doing is worrying about the imagery of what they're seeing on TV and getting that passion of saying, yo, I'm going to start doing, everything now is the capping with this credit card scamming and everything else like that.
Good luck, man.
Good luck. I don't know what more to tell a person. Good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, coming back with the real estate, when I started doing a real estate boot camp. And how I came up with that was that I had, prior to me, I guess, finding my level of success, I'm more successful than a lot of people, but I can show you 100,000 other people that are way more successful than me. Right. It's about, whatever lane you in, and if you satisfied with that, and it's one property, I'm happy for you. Right. If it's 100,000 properties, I'm happy for you. Mm-hmm. But catch your lane and run that, right? Yeah. One of the things I couldn't stand is that when I would go to these events, watching these people in the podium, mm-hmm. and those events are like a cult. Mm-hmm. Just think of Jonestown. Mm-hmm. Remember Jonestown? That guy Jim Jones killed all those people. Yeah. That's what it's like. Everybody got to stand up and clap. Do you feel good about yourself? Stand up and clap. And there's 1,000 people in the audience. Am I lying? Are those events not like that?
Yes.
And it's to hype you up and everybody feel good. They got the Holy Ghost of real estate that day. Am I lying?
Yeah.
Am I lying?
Real estate saved your life.
Yes. So tell me something. Why is it that when you would walk out, you finish sweating, and you're on your way to walk to your car, the passion is gone? Am I lying?
No.
Am I lying?
You don't know what just happened. It's like church.
You don't even realize what happened. And then not only, it's just like church. And that happened to me so many times. And then I started realizing, I said, wait a minute. It's the hypeness. The play was, all right, everybody, go to the back and meet my coordinator in the back, and they're going to have the credit card machines ready to swipe it. That's the play.
That's the play.
So they could upsell you. I applaud everybody that does that. But I always walked out feeling lost. Yeah. And I'm like, why did I? But and listen, if I'm lying, just let me know.
No, bro.
Am I the only one that thought like?
No.
So when I started catching my stride, I went to a few more, but just to go, because I always want to hone my skills. Yeah. I don't know everything, but so anytime a new product come out or a new rhetoric come out, you have to kind of listen because you never know. You never know, something sometimes periodically pick up little gems that I'm like, oh, damn, I could apply that. But the overall was the same thing. Yeah. So one day I'm laying up and I'm talking to a good friend of mine, Fox, Original Real Estate Ballers. Mm-hmm. And I said, man, I had a dream. I want to do a real estate boot camp. But my vision of it was literally a boot camp for real estate. Mm-hmm. And how I planned to do it, which I did, is I wanted somebody to understand from the beginning to the end of the process on a flip. So I bought a property. Before I even closed on the property, I already had X amount of the students I was going to have, and I keep them small. I only wanted to keep 15 people tops because it has to be intimate. You got to see me. You got to feel me, right? Yeah. So I acquired the property, and I said I'm going to make everything transparent. Everything. So when we're speaking about the property, it's not a theory like what happens to other events. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the numbers are factually applied to this property. So you're going to understand to the T, and I'm on you like white on rice. That's how I'm on them. And I told them I need you out here every week, 4 to 6 weeks, every week. And then every week when they would come, they would see a literal change on the property because my guys, we get our houses done on average about 5 to 6 weeks. So I wanted them to come every week to see the process. So they would come the first week, they would see the acquisition. They'd understand how much I bought the house for. Then I'd walk them through to make them understand why I bought the house for that amount of money. You need to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you're dead. Absolutely. So they understood why I bought the house for that amount of money. And I showed them how much is it going to cost me to rehab that property. And then we walked through and I showed them everything I plan on doing. Yo, we're knocking down this wall. We're going to extend the kitchen this way. We're going to redo the basement, the whole period. And we're together 7-8 hours each time. And every week they come out. Then I showed them how to manage the contractors. I showed them how to acquire the business funding. And if you go through the videos on the Instagram, you'll see some of the students in real time getting $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in business credit in real time. By the time they done, you're ready to go. Because I'm giving you the game. Out of those students that came, I'm at least 40% of them out of the students that came actually acquired their own property and started doing their own. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a boot camp where you got to come out to the field, come out and smell the urine. Yeah. Help kill a rat or two with me. You know, you know what I'm saying?
Break down that rodent.
Break down that rodent. You know what I'm saying? Go so you can see, but not necessarily to get your hands dirty. I don't get my hands dirty. Right. But for you to build your team. You planning on being a businessman or a businesswoman. So you got to position yourself as a businessman or a businesswoman so you could do real business. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And I walk them through the hard money lenders. I walk them through getting their LLCs. I walk them through opening up their bank. I walk them through the whole process. Go out there and reach out to them. They'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to put out because that's what I wish I had.
Yes.
I didn't have to get burnt so many times. I didn't have to get taken advantage of so many times if I just had one person that was supposedly doing their thing. So all those people throughout those years I told you about, they weren't doing shit. Wow. None of them. Till this day. So the same guys, Simone, to this day reaches out to me. Yo, Welby, and I was wondering, man, listen, man, do you wanna do this business deal with me? Or listen, how you imagine that? After you did me like that, you never know. You never know. You know, so yeah.
Always do right. This will gratify some and astonish the rest, man. So real estate saved your life, man.
It opened up everything for me, man. It really did. It opened up everything for me.
What clicked for you though? Like when you said, "Dad, I got this." Yeah.
What happened was that I kept putting the cart before the horse in every aspect.
But what made you? Because you could have messed up again. That last time in Atlanta, like, yo, wait, I got this now. Like now,
as much as confident as I am.
Yeah.
I didn't really have the confidence with what I was doing.
Got it.
And then not only that, if you don't protect the money, if you don't control the money, you don't control your project.
Yes.
I don't care who you are. The gas that fuels the engine to this business is the money. And if you're not controlling the money, you don't control your project.
That's a fact.
And I used to have,
that's a fact.
And I mean no disrespect to any contractor. None. But you can't be in my house working on my house telling me what to do in my house. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Or telling me how is it going to go down in my house. And that's what I was having happening to me. The reason why being is because they already had the money. When I tell you I'm on unorthodox, people will bug out. I pay the contractor a lump sum money. That's how I do my business. Really? I do lump sum. I don't do no itemized. Listen, you got to come to the event and you'll understand. I fuck them up. I'm spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. I got receipts to show you.
Yeah.
I got spent, and I haven't lost a penny. Yeah. Not a dime, unless I was willing to. Yeah. So the manner how I handle it, how I do, because like I told you before we were talking, right? You too. I'm a genuine dude, and I'm not saying that because I'm in front of the cameras. I'm being honest. I'm a genuine dude. I'm not a thief. I'm not a criminal. I'm not. So my goal is not for me to do business with you to rob you. That's not my goal. Because if we do good business, that means we can do it again 10 times.
10 times.
You feel what I'm saying? My contractor, Luso Home Improvement, he'll ask him. I'm moving hundreds of thousands of dollars with this man. And never, not a penny, has he been shorted by me. Once. And then we multiplied that multiple times with the houses.
And so what would never gonna take one screw from you.
Not only that, because of the report that I have, he's put up his own money without me giving up a dime because he knows he's good. Yeah. So my goal is not to rob you. Right. But at the beginning of business, I'm not taking the risk. I don't have the relationship with you. I'm not giving up the money in that way. So I show people how you spend the money and protect your money at all times. I don't give a damn how much money it is. They can't beat you. Right. They can't rob you. So what I do, I know people, and I tell you, I'm unorthodox with what I do. I know I am. Most people do itemized lists, break down to the penny. The school box was $2.59. The doors cost me $370. I don't do none of that. I do none of that. Yo, listen, bro. I know how much this house is gonna cost me to fix it. I know what it's gonna cost me, roughly.
Yeah.
Right? Even if my contractor makes a little bit more, good for him. As long as it falls within my number, I'm not counting your pockets. Right. This house is gonna cost hypothetically 70 grand. Yo, bro, I'm paying 70 grand. Soup to nuts, right? Yeah. I don't need. Listen, bro. I'm unorthodox, bro. Wow. And what ends up happening, we have a lump sum agreement from top to bottom of getting this house done. That's all we need to agree on, bro. And I pay you. And when I pay you, I go like this. You want 50% of it, or do you want all of it now? That's how I do it. I deal with it. I swear on everything I love you. Bro. I'm telling you. Yeah. Do you want all of it now? Yeah. And when I break down to him how I protected myself and what I do, he's too afraid to even take the money from me. Because he knows what's going to happen. And I'm not talking no street shit neither, yo. Let's get that clear. Yeah. I ain't talking no street shit. I ain't talking no violence. I'm talking business. Yeah. I'm talking business. You're not going to rob me in business. Yeah. So we're going to do business the right way. Right? We're going to do it the right way. We're going to do business the right way. So I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you what we agreed on. And my house should be done in X amount of time. Right? And that's it. That's all I give a damn about. And I let you get busy. I'm around. I pay attention. I'll show you pictures of my befores and afters. I'll show you what my expectations are. You know what I want. Don't come to me with no frills, $20 light fixture. Don't come to me because you know that that's not what I'm going for. You know that. So if you're an experienced investor, an experienced contractor, you know what's cheap to what's acceptable. I don't have to talk to you about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I go about it, and I teach the people how to protect themselves. And then, like I said, going back, I'm not here to rob you, so you ain't got to worry about getting robbed. Just do the job. Especially I paid you 100% up front, right?
You see? I love it, man.
It's about, because you know it's when you get that talk after that loss, and especially from Dad, he's like, "You done now,
you
right?
done now, right?"
A lot of people could just easily get discouraged and be like, this is not, because it was actually a big deal, $800,000 at the closing table. That was one of the biggest losses, and I was working with some.
You talking about yourself? Yeah.
At the closing table, and it was going to change my life.
Yeah,
but it was just.
It's too good to be true, right?
It's just the people you surround yourself with. If you ain't surrounded with the right people, like you said, and controlling the money.
Yes.
You're not controlling the money. At that point, by the time attorneys, you fighting for,
and you're sitting wondering where the money went, and they're all canoodling with each other, and you sit like, yo, how the hell did this happen? You know what I'm saying? If something isn't good, you don't force it. People ask me, how do you acquire your properties? And I said, I get a lot of them off the MLS. I get a lot off market deals. When I ask the average person, have you been putting in your office for deals? They'll tell me, yeah, I did, and then they told me no. So I said, yo, okay, it's November. How many offers did you put in this month of November? The average person would tell me none. Maybe one. Okay, since October, November, how many offers did you put in? I don't know, maybe 2. If I show you my phone right now, just for this month alone, I must have put in maybe 30. 30. Just for this month alone, and I got told no for all of them. I don't need to get told yes for all of them. I can't eat that money. You know what I'm saying? I just need one. But the name of the game is to hustle that much more harder than the next person. Right. And what people do, they focus more on what they see is advertised versus what they should pay for. So if you're looking at a house that's $100,000, but I know I should not be paying no more than 50, they won't even put in their offer for 50 because they said, well, it's listed for 100. And I tell them, I don't care what they listed for. That's their business, what they listed for. I'm just going to put in my office because I know where I need to be at. And then you have to be strong enough to say, if they tell you no, walk away. You have to be able to do that. And I wasn't able to do that at the beginning. Somebody on the hook talking to me, I couldn't let it go, even though it was a bad deal. And I would do the deal anyways.
Just to have the experience.
I mean,
it's a lesson though, because no matter what, it's an experience.
How many people can get punched in the face that many times and then still be here today.
Not that many.
I got punched so many times that everyone else that came along with me got punched once. And they were like, that's it for me. Real talk.
Yeah.
So how many people you know got punched in the face that many times and got up and said, no, this is for me, this is for me.
Not that many.
Then not only that, after all I just described to you, I'm still getting punched in the face. Still getting punched in the face. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud to say it. I'm proud to say, yo,
with passion.
With passion. I'm not happy that I lost the money that I lost, even on the recent deals I just did. I wish I didn't. I wouldn't have preferred. But then I learned, you know what? I'm not buying that, and I'm not buying it that way again. So, okay, I got to take that loss times 2. All right, I'll move on. I have another situation now with another property that a lot of my properties don't have septic tanks, and I didn't get an inspection on the property. I bought it fully renovated, and I find out after the fact, while we're under contract, the septic tank is no good. And they want to charge me $25,000, $30,000 to replace it. I'm not happy, and it's going on right now. I'm not happy about that. I learned, all right, cool. So now I got another property. I just got in the contract with a septic tank. Yo, listen, I need an inspection done on the septic tank. You ain't gonna get me again.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That a lot of people are gonna doubt you. A lot of people are gonna sleep on you. A lot of people are gonna say you can't. A lot of people are gonna say, yeah. What you see on TV is just them. No, you can do the same thing too if you want to, but it ain't what you think it is. It ain't as glamorous as you would like it to be. Right. So that's why people will say, Welby, why don't you show off more of the stuff that you got? A lot of the same things that you watch people do, I have them too. I own them too. I own those things too. But yo, the game is hoodie, and I know it's not glamorous. It's hoodie and scuffed up Timbs. When I get a chance to clean myself up, because you guys came around, so I had to clean up a little bit. But the bulk of the day is hoodies and scuffed up Timbs. That's my week consists of. You know what I'm saying?
On the site,
yeah.
So, I mean,
man, brother,
it's incredible stuff. This is what grinding is about, man. It's really about putting yourself out there and just as much times as you get knocked down, just get back up.
Keep going no matter what.
That's why I told you it's very easy to get into something.
Yes.
Very easy to get into it, but then now that you're into it, no one ever factored in the rest of the stuff. What about the roof?
What about the roof?
We had that little hurricane that happened a couple weeks ago, and one of my buildings, the roof, the left side of the building, all the shingles flew off.
Oof.
And $18,000 to repair, and I had to spend that before the insurance even does anything, and I'm still waiting all this time. But no one speaks on that. People just speak on, hey, you could buy this property, or you could buy this rental, and you could collect this amount of money. That's with everything going right.
Everything going right.
That's with everything going right. But I always say, what about the what ifs?
The what ifs.
And I'm fearful for the people that they'll buy in this manner, and they buy with their back against the wall. They have no room for a left or right.
Yes.
A left or right move, you have no room, and you're going to get yourself in some trouble. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things, like you said, those are the things that I talk about, and I'll be honest with them. And when I do my online consultations, I do Zoom consultations with people, and these are the conversations I have with them. And I tell people all the time, I don't tell you what to do. If you're calling me to tell you and to give you the path, I'm not doing that. What I am going to do is we're going to have an in-depth conversation about your situation, your goals, and we're going to lay it all out. And with the conversation we're going to have laid out, you're going to be, as an adult, more clearer to define what direction you want to go. That's the best thing versus me telling you, you know what? You should be wholesaling. I don't know. Maybe wholesaling isn't for you. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you shouldn't be a landlord. Maybe you should be a landlord. I don't know. But that's something that you have to have a conversation within yourself and have a clearer understanding to understand why it is that you should or you shouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
To know yourself.
To know yourself.
Yeah.
And you got to know what, and you know what too? At the end of the day, you have to have this level of passion, or my level of passion, or your level of passion. If you don't have this level of passion for real estate, don't do it for the money, because most of the time you're not going to get it.
You're not. And not only that too, the time that you have, like, I wake up early in the morning, and then I live in New York, but I go to Connecticut, and it's an hour and 15 minute drive, and I don't care. Like, it's nothing to me, and part of it because, man, I love going up. I'm like, yo, this is mine. I don't, and it's not a show off. It's not me trying to have more than the next guy. or less than the next. I'm not trying to do any of that. Anybody that's doing their thing, I humbly appreciate you and I applaud you because I understand the level and the depths it takes to do what you're doing. I get it. But other than that, but I do have true love for it. I care about it. You know, I really do. You know, so something it might not be for you.
You have to find your passion. That's the point.
Here's the thing:
You know what I'm
no
saying?
one ever said, but I'm gonna say it. Right?
Say it, bro.
Let's say you go into an event, and let's just say there's 500 people that go in that event, and let's just say out of the 500 people that went to that event, you convinced those 500 people to all go out there and all go in and get into the real estate game. You understand that just those 500 people, if all 500 people went to the New York market at the same time and went buying, it would decimate the market. It would decimate the market for us investors. We know that most of you people ain't gonna do nothing. So just think about it. So when you getting called in to be packed in, just think about it. If all of you guys that were sitting in this room, and it don't have to be that many, 500 of you guys went, and all of you guys went out there, it would destroy the market. Because I already could see it. I already can see it in my area. So we got a whole lot of novices buying, and I'm putting bids on properties. And when you find out that they bought the property and what they paid for it, I sit back and I wait. Those same people are trying to bail out now. And I've bought the property off of them $30,000 less. They're taking a loss. Look, I got to get out because they got to pay the hard money back, his money. Yep. And then I get the property at the price it should have been bought. Because you just want to get in. You just want to get in.
My time, man. Like, I could have bought it months ago.
I'm telling you. And it's happened numerous times already.
I believe it.
Numerous times. So, you know, just because the masses is going in one direction doesn't mean it's for you. And that's not to say it isn't for you. But then you need to find what angle is going to work for you. Yes. I know a guy, he's killing it with wholesaling. And that's his thing.
Yeah. Explain what wholesaling is for those who don't know.
Well, I'm not a master wholesaler. I've done a few wholesaling deals, but basically wholesaling is you acquire a property. Hopefully it's going to be at the price points that I, as an investor or anybody would buy it. You'll buy it at a certain price point. Get it under contract and then assign the contract to an end buyer like me.
A to B, B to C.
Yeah, correct. And then you would put your money on it. So hypothetically, if you know that I buy my properties on average at a 65 to 70% ARV or after repair value minus what my repair costs are going to be projected to be. So you're going to have to be able to convince that owner of the home as a wholesaler to sell you that home at X amount of money to then put your 5, 10, 15, 20,000 on top to meet the requirements of what I would buy it for. That's what a wholesaler would.
So
then
they don't have to come to the table with their own money.
They don't have to do nothing.
They just popping up.
They don't have to do nothing. And then they'll assign the contract over to me.
Yep.
I take over the contract. And the owner doesn't even have to know that even occurred. And I buy it at that price point that we agreed. He'll make his, whatever he sold the property, the money for. The owner has his house bought. And then I own the property. And then I do what I'm going to do to it. And then hopefully put it back on the market.
I did a few of those in the beginning. One of them I ended up having to chase somebody down for money. I was like, what are we doing this for? Speaking of starting your own lane, what made you choose Connecticut? Because you say you're killing out in Connecticut. What did you see?
It was just man. It was by the grace of God. I'll be honest with you. When I went to Atlanta. The bulk of the reason why I went to Atlanta is because the market in New York was a bit crazy. Yeah. So that's why I did. That's why a lot of people who are going in big cities going to these smaller markets. So what I did do when I came back to New York, I did a couple more deals. I did well there, but I wanted to go back on the outskirts, Shark Tank over here. Oh, yeah. So I really didn't want to really get into that. So then by accident, I had a friend of mine that lived in Connecticut that was telling me, hey, you should come out to Connecticut, come and check it out. So I was promising him I'm going to come and promise I'm going to come, but I was still finishing up my deals. So when I finally finished up the deals, I gave him a call. Loose Home Improvement. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, listen, man, I'm ready to come out. And he just happened to be out. He was in his country in Portugal at the time. He says, I'll be back January. That was sometime in 2013 or 14 that happened. I can't remember. No, 15, something like that. So then I said, all right. So when he came, I went out there. When I went out there, I didn't go out there to go spend money first. I went out there and hung out. Yeah. And we just hung out. Took me by the beaches, took me by the different areas, would drive around the areas and show me why all these properties are boarded up and what they're doing over there. And I just started studying the market, studying before I spent the money. Don't stop taking people's words at face value just because they telling you it's a good move or not. So I went out there and I started studying the market. I started reaching out to different people. And then before I spent the dime, I started building up my team. I made sure I had me a realtor or 2 or 3. Then you have to learn how to train the realtors to work the way you need them, because most realtors won't understand what I need. They think they do until they speak to me, and then they realize, oh shoot, how he wants his properties delivered to him and presented to him. These other buyers who are novices ain't asking that. They're accustomed to being in control. That's what they are. You're the business owner. You gotta be in control at all times. At all times. So I had to learn, I had to acquire my realtors. Then I had to acquire my attorney's office. And I had to interview the attorney's office to make sure that they were going to give me what the hell I needed. This is before I spent the dime. Then I had to start looking into building up my contractor team. But instead of just trying to get a big, huge organization, I took my man. And he wanted to do this, and he had the ability to do it. And I said, let's get one. Let's get one house. So I went and I got one house. I didn't go and buy 2 more, 3 more. Let's get this one house and let's work on this one house and let's get this one house right and then put it on the market and then wait. We used to do our properties. When our first one house we bought, it took us 4 months to get it on the market. 3 or 4 months to get it on the market. We put it on the market. A couple weeks after I got on the contract, I sold it and I made $60,000. I said, it works. So I know it works. So then we went and got another one. Did the same thing, but now the 4 months went down to 3 months. Put it on the market, it worked. Oh shit. So then I said, yo, look, man, you feel comfortable? Listen, I need to get out of here and put you in my position. Because I gotta be the one to go out there to get the houses. I gotta be the one to go find it. I need you to be me. Yo, you want it? Yeah. He quit his job, everything, and he came with me. And he's standing in my shoes. So now he's my eyes, my ears, and everything. So remember, you have your team on the floor. Not you trusting what somebody tell you. You got somebody that's on your team on the floor.
Right. On your side.
We then bought another property, 2 properties, and we started getting better and better and better as a team working. So those same houses that was taking us 4 months, we're doing them in 6 weeks. I'm talking about, and I'm not talking no whack shit either, man. I'm talking to go check the properties online. Some of them on the market now. We doing some top-notch shit. So now our average is a 6-week turnaround time from acquisition to rehabbing.
A
little over a month. We back on the market. The hard money lender don't even get his first payment yet, and the house is on the market already. You know what I'm saying? So we built, but we worked that. We built that and we worked that. Then we went from doing 1 houses to now. I feel comfortable, and like I said again, I'm not chasing nobody else. I know people are doing more than that. 3 houses simultaneously, I feel comfortable doing. And then when it hits them, they're on the market, then we can buy 2 or 3 more and go. And if I have 6 on the market selling right now, so that's all right. But simultaneously, my notch is that. And that's what I'm comfortable with. Right. You know? And then what I did, the profits I was making off of the flips, I started taking the profits off of the flips and I started acquiring my rental portfolio. And I started taking that and buying my rental properties. And I started acquiring and building up my rental portfolio like that. So that was my game plan. So I had to figure out my game plan on how I could make this happen and how I can grow. That might not be your game plan. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. You have to get yourself dirty enough to then start formulating what you want to do and how you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say one more thing too.
Yes.
Too many people feel that, especially today, because they got a 9-to-5 job, they're a failure. And too many people are rushing to get out of their 9-to-5. And a lot of times when people text me, DM me on Instagram, one of the things that they lead up with conversing about is, I just want to get out of this 9-to-5 because I want to do generational wealth. Do you even understand what that means? Generational wealth became a term now that people are just shooting off the hip. Generational wealth. And then you're in a rush to get out of your employment because you feel that you're a failure or that you're a cornball or that or that you look weak because you get up every day to go to work. You understand what I'm saying? What your focus should be is that your 9-to-5 has already sustained you to this point already. Yes. It feeds you every day. It feeds your family every day. It pays your mortgage. It pays your rent every day. Figure out a way to say, thank God I got this job.
Amen.
And let me leverage this job and make it in addition to what I'm doing.
Yep.
When you start to do that, you start to build up more and more that you get to a point that make it that your job becomes a problem. That's what you want to do. Make it that while you leveraging your job, that your business is thriving and working, but your job is sustaining it, that it becomes a problem to get to work because your business is doing that well. But stop getting up and knocking your job and talking shit that I want to get out of here. Everybody wants to. Somebody got to work. Somebody got to work. You know what I'm saying? And I put in more time and energy in my business than you do in your job. You prepared to give that up?
Nope.
Are you prepared to put that out?
Nope.
With no pay.
Yeah, with no pay.
You know what I'm saying?
With
So
no pay.
so stop
And getting punched in your face.
and getting punched. So stop knocking the fact. Embrace that you have it.
Be grateful.
Be grateful that you have it.
Yes.
Leverage the fact that you have it. And then maybe you will quit it one day. That's wonderful if you do. But stop knocking it because they thinking that I just want to start doing X, Y, and I'm gonna quit my job. It don't work like that.
I'm telling you, man, it's what they see. That's why they say, what's that movie, Social Dilemma? They say all these people are some of the creators of these social media outlets.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, we made a mistake because they created things where it's making people addicted. You know, people think that these social media outlets are more so for selling your data, but really, it's really selling you the attention.
Okay.
They want to keep you on.
That's right.
So when
And if you're not careful, you easily get addicted.
Of course.
You easily. That's why a lot of the times I have to block or mute a lot of people because even myself, I get caught up in it. So you're doing something, and then sometimes you trip up, and then you fall into someone's page, and you're like, damn, I got to do more. You hear what I'm saying? And you get caught. But then you know how many times those people I ended up bumping into them, and it wasn't what they were promoting.
Yeah, I mean, but that's my point.
Everything that glitters ain't gold.
Yeah, that's my point. It's like people who go to work 9 to 5, whatever, right? I tell them, look, if you want to be an entrepreneur, I don't care if it's real estate, I don't care if it's selling computers, I don't care if it's selling washing machines. Like, if you doing it, do it with passion. For you guys on YouTube land that can watch this episode, because I know you can feel it. But if you're watching this episode and you see my man's passion, if you are questioning for 2021, right? Selling water bottles, like I don't care, gym equipment, like you have to have this level of passion. Like the passion you have, bro, is how I've been for 20 years in mortgages and real estate in this type of world. Like I was dreaming about real estate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I dream about construction. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's my favorite part.
One of the things I love too is
you know what I'm saying?
I had this man that sold me his mother's house.
Yeah.
She just passed away. He grew up in the house, and it was it was built in the 50s, and that house was exactly what it was in the 50s. Same kitchen, everything. And then a couple weeks later, I called him to come back to look at the property, and he walked in with tears, crying. Because he couldn't believe this was the house that he grew up in. Same house. He was in his 60s. And then we did this on my Instagram too. And he was just like, man, you just did an amazing job. Thank you so much. You know, you did it with respect and everything. And he just couldn't believe that house. It just came out amazing, you know. So those are some of the things that I love too with that too. Believe it or not, it gets easier.
It does get
when
easier.
When you start with 1, 2, your third is the most difficult. But then it starts getting easier. Because I have this thing called feeding the animal.
Feeding the animal?
Basically, to get started, you needed to go out there and hustle. You need to go out there and build up, your cash. Whoever tells you don't need cash is lying to you.
He's lying, man.
You need money.
You need money.
So whichever way you figure out to get up the money through flipping, if that's what you did, that's what I had did. Working, whatever way you're getting the money up, then you investing in a rental portfolio. You start to buy up enough So right now, on average, I need, let's say 30,000, 40,000 to buy the next property. But if it was costing me, I broke down how I do it with my flipping. But now it gets to a point that the properties are generating that much money. I don't live off of that right now. Like you said, it's your pension. I don't need it at the moment. So because of that fact, that money comes in every month. That if I want to, every month, 2 months, I have enough money as a down payment to buy another one and another one without it actually coming out of my pocket. So that's the point you want to be able to get to, that you're able to start to have enough coming in that you don't now have to physically work to build up the money to buy. You could just save it and then reinvest in buying another one.
And that's it's going to benefit you in the long term because you're not going to have to pay taxes on that capital gains because you're putting it into another property. So man, we're gonna have to bring you back, brother.
I love that, man.
Yeah,
we'll be here all day talking about it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, out of faith, grind, inspire, which word resonates with you?
Maybe I'd say faith, but faith in myself, believe it or not. I would be. I mean, I have faith in God too. So let's put that out. But I have just an unbelievable faith in me. So I would say faith in myself is probably that resonates in me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have went with grind for you.
Yeah.
Nah, I would have. Yeah,
you gotta have faith in yourself.
But you have
especially after your dad comes to tell you, like,
yeah, no, that's true.
Sweetie?
Yeah. No, that's true. I think that, and then coming from, I mean, probably any parent, but it was like me being that I could relate with you with being Haitian. It's like I know, like my mom and dad did that to me.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I remember when I first started in real estate, commission only. Everybody was, making money, and I was the only one in the suit and like, nah, this is gonna work. And
then they talking about you behind your back.
Of course,
they got slick things to say behind your back.
They're like, yo, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
My mom, like, oh my God, like I did all this sacrifice.
If I got more, what if I got more?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
and
all of a sudden, when I started winning, they're like, oh, that's my son.
I knew it. I knew he would.
When the family sees you on the Today Show, they're like, oh, that's my guy.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, guess what? It didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It was the faith. So you know what? I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The faith in yourself. You have to have faith in yourself, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, when I talk about faith, grind, inspire, people always think it's religious.
Yeah.
But it's really, the funny thing is, when I talk about faith, I'm talking about the faith in yourself.
Oh, wow, okay.
Like, all right. That's why I'm like, I was surprised. The vibrations, bro.
Yeah.
Because the faith in yourself is number one.
Absolutely.
The grind is what you got to put in.
That's right.
And then you're going to inspire other people. And even if you're not doing it to inspire other people, it's
going to automatically happen.
Like your uncle that you talked about that came to you and used to drive you guys to Long Island.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that was inspiring you.
Yeah.
You are the seed, bro. Yeah. You are the inspiration that he's talking about. And we had somebody else on the show a couple weeks ago, Alan, and he said his word was inspire. And his thing was, you have to inspire comes first. Because if you didn't get inspiration, you wouldn't have faith to have in yourself to grind.
That's still,
whichever, it works for everybody. Everybody sees it different, and
it's applicable for everybody. It's for
everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, I appreciate you.
Nah, listen, I'm so humble too, man. I'm so humble too,
for sure.
Thank you so much,
for sure, man. And I'm glad that you opened up your home for us during COVID-19
I know,
pandemic, and so with that being said, like, where can people find you? Any last tips you want to give to people?
Well, they can find me. They can go to Instagram at @mybest197, ATMYBEST197, or you could go on the website www.atmybest197, and that'll show you a lot of my before and after pictures, a quick bio of my my history of being in this business, and the number one thing I tell anybody is just don't stop. You know, that's the honest thing I would tell you. Just don't stop. It's not easy. It's not as easy as you'd like to believe that it is.
Right.
But just don't stop. You know, that's what I would tell anyone.
Keep going no matter what.
Absolutely.
That's how we close it too.
And they can book their consultations. And
Yeah,
everything. It's all
they could go on my website and they could book their consultations. I do online Zoom calls with them.
Okay.
And I'm also putting another boot camp together. I don't know when, but another one will come, so they can do all that on the website. And then if they want to watch for the most part, every morning I put out a video on tips or whatever experience I just maybe went through that moment or the day before, and I put the information out as well. But if they looking to like really understand from somebody that's actually living what they talking about, I mean, I don't know if it gets any better than me, you know.
Yeah.
So just, you know, that's what I'm here for.
It's important, man.
Kobe, man.
You don't have many people out there that's actually sharing the gems, and you actually care to share the gems, and you want to see them do it. A lot of people don't even give all the tips. They
Absolutely
try to hide it. You being fully transparent, and I believe in the long run, you know, people get the notoriety and the fame and all that, but I believe it's the humble and the meek that are really going to thrive, especially in this era of authenticity.
That's right.
People are tired of the fluff.
That's right.
They want to see people express themselves. They want to see them get emotional. They want to see them get vulnerable. They want to expose the losses and all of that stuff because that's real life.
That's
real
right.
life.
It is life.
Ain't happy vacation
That's
all
right.
the time. It's not.
That's right.
Real life is about seeing the dark and the light and being able to expose it, because then it gives you a full scope of everything going on. So, man, thank you for being you. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for never giving up.
I appreciate that,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Thank you so much for that, man.
So, guys, thank you, Brianna. Thank you, Kobe. Thank you, brother. Man,
I appreciate you, man.
Listen. I don't have to say nothing else, right? So, tune in every Wednesday, right? Thank you guys for following.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Happy
man,
birthday,
this is
man.
the best birthday gift, man.
Oh, man.
Appreciate it, man. So this was the best gift, man. So I had a great day, and shout out to my wife for making it special, my son for making it special. Appreciate you guys. Your passion has to be equivalent to your vision. Because you can keep going and not have any passion, and you keep running into a wall. But it's just like your passion just energized me, man, for 2021, bro. And like now I'm thinking like, yo, how can I do this? Like, how can we put this into something to really inspire other people?
I'd love to continue that conversation, and maybe we could figure that out. I think that'd be dope.
Man. Like, because
especially
like
with the group economics, man, our people have to understand that about pooling. I say that's one thing about Caribbean, and I say that because a lot of my dad has a lot of doctors. They're all friends. They all have their own private practice. But the one thing that they didn't learn to do is to create greater. They have their private practices. They come hang out with each other. They celebrate. They have great, turn up. They never figured out how to pool
together
their money together to allow. They all live in big, lavish houses on Long Island, but never figured out, because it's like they became pediatricians, self-employed, doctors. They didn't really understand the business side. Yeah. It's a whole different other business. But I think it's really up to us, the younger generation, to see further, to see how we can put our minds together and really get out of the crab in the barrel mentality and start to really just push each other. So, I mean, we got to have the conversations. Yes. It's all about the conversations.
Absolutely.
Man. Yes.
Absolutely.
So, guys, thank you again for checking us out. Listen to this conversation. I want to thank you again.
I appreciate
for being a guest. Thank you guys for tuning in.
I hope you learned something. I hope so.
Too many gems.
Too many gems. This is what Faith Grind Inspire is all about, man. This was the vision, and this is exactly what we're talking about, man. And I'm so happy that COVID allowed us to get out of the studio and go in person and really give it more. Right? So appreciate you guys. Continue to follow us on faithgrindinspire.com. If you know someone who's trying to get into real estate or trying to generational wealth and just follow this man. Book the consultation. If he puts a boot camp, be part of it. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not going to find, if you don't have a mentor in real estate, there's one right here. And learn from him. You know what I'm saying? And pay. We talk about consultants, we talk about coaches, but pay for it. You pay for the $300 for Gucci belt. You pay for all these things. You pay money for different things. but pay for education. Nothing is free. Thank you so much. Check us out. Follow us. Keep going no matter what, but only if your passion is there. God bless. Peace.
Peace, y'all.